Hello everybody, my name is Jwpro14 and welcome back to another Danganronpa. And today we are going to continue this playthrough, and I'm almost sure that it's Celeste who did it. Well, anyway, let's continue this wacky playthrough! Figure out the rest for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. Murder number 3 and 4. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there,
Monokuma appears!
Hello! He's multiplied?
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks like the... Wait. It just looks like that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator?
Boy, tough crowd.
You're not playing along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey!
Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain tray elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please!
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't just run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already. I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find out the other costume or not? Well, no, but how unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. I think it's you, goth girl. Celeste.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusation for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. I'm gonna scoot you a little bit closer. Loud noise in the background. Also, what might be fun, I downloaded a few new sound effects and such, and you probably won't notice because when I upload this, it will already probably be used by then. But anyway, I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two who have lost their lives. I do think Hifumi was still alive when he was down there, just faking his death. That's something I'm gonna keep going with. That I'm not giving that shit up. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka, the one killed two of our friends. The killer is one of us! Someone right here! Let's get on the fucking elevator. I don't give a shit. The door closed on their own as the steel bar began to move. I can actually... This part is always the same. The clock in this video deeper, blah blah. I'm not sure how long before I get into the top of this. Slide open. Opening up into a cruel fate. Well, I see all of you are gathered together like this. I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
just the worst.
Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
Well, what? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop going around and begin the trial. Don't rush me. I don't know if you guys can hear my breathing. I'm kind of worried about it because I heard in the last few days ago, probably a long time ago before I upload this, but anyway, I heard in the other episode 2, that I still wasn't hearing good enough, so or something. But anyway, I'm trying to get close to my mouse so you guys can hear me better, but not too close so you can hear me breathe. Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break.
Yoo-hoo!
I never hold out on you like that. Okay. Oh fuck, I forgot to. I'll never on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats. And so once again. The same goddamn thing every day, every time. Yes, I would like to say thank you. These two is why I know it isn't Yasuhiro. And this also. As well, I mean. Class trial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. And I'll punish now.
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit.
Did you now?
Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
Let me.
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
So you.
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence.
Do you now?
Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know, I don't know!
I'm gonna help you, buddy. Don't worry about it. It's really clear or anything else, man. Let's have a look at that. Yasuhiro's message.
Blueprints, the suit parts,
I don't think so.
No, that's wrong.
Saving your life, buddy!
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could
Yeah.
think the same person made both of
Detective.
them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
True.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
I know he's not.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
Yay!
What?
My BFF thinks as
Who was
well.
in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
Could be.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
Of course, he passed it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
I don't know. How have we gone so far? The Illuminati. No, the Illuminati. Well, it was Hiro, then I think. Couldn't be Hina. Hiro?
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
But you thought it was
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
He's just fucking with us.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption! And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
It's the truth.
All things have a proper order.
Yes.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his
Easy.
corpse was moved using certain particular items.
The dolly and the
Makoto,
dragon.
can you tell us what they were?
Fucking asshole. I mean. Things about music is like a body.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. I know which one it is. Body. The tarp.
I got it!
Easy.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository.
It was
And when
like,
we found it for the
yes.
second time, it was wrapped in a
There,
blue
there.
tarp, right?
Fucking
It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
Yes.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right?
Bitch, I know.
But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Bitch, I know.
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body?
Yes.
That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room.
Bitch.
Is it not
Get
possible
down.
that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
No, it's not.
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
Fuck you, Byakuya.
There is no shame
Why are you a
in being
dick?
wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh no, I've
We
solved
have
2
all
murders
accepted
already.
the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Do I? Well, I've never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean, but I can maybe change my mind. And let's bring out the audience.
You are a fool. So pathetic. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Oh my hell! I was so close to fucking this shit up.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here.
Oh,
When
yeah.
I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that
Yeah.
matched the dolly wheel's tread.
Indeed.
The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room, and as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Yeah, bitch. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that
Well,
much?
anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yay.
The subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
It's not
I'm
wrong
not
at all.
sure that really matters.
Yes.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Yes. Oh fuck. You'll be clear about the person that's done it. No, you're down, bitch.
No, that's wrong.
Fuck you.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
I'm the best.
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention. You totally can't bend the waist around this thing.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It
Are you letting
seems
me
like
know?
it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
Direction.
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Yes.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Hero's not strong enough. Once it's done, you can never take it off. You can take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option.
I'm too good for this
Remember-
game. I'm saying it now, but I'm gonna fail in a fucking second. I don't know what's up. What is this thing? But I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid frigging thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping him from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off your own. You don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to
I
put the
think you
suit
could
on
do it.
or take it off
easily.
without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
Yeah.
He could have gotten it off by himself. I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it.
That's true.
Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
It was a fake.
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
Bitch, you made that thing. How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Yeah, but yes. That was, I decided to come just now. You bitch. I was right.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Is it?
Yeah.
Or was it you?
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
I know what happened.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who
I
did
was
it.
right.
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Indeed.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
Just keep talking.
What a pain in the ass!
Oh,
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Yay.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what
Now
happened.
ask her, where the fuck were you?
I
Answer the
suppose we
question.
could start with this morning.
Yeah.
4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It
Well,
seems I
first
was
we need to
unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it
Burrito.
was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
Mm-hmm.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her
It
assailant
was
had been wearing a
fake.
strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi.
Don't
We were
listen to
soon
them.
joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office,
There it is. Oh, that's round. I saw a shadow. Something was moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor.
Did you?
And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled
sure
out
you did.
to everyone as soon as I did.
Okay, I know you guys can see me right now, but I'm sitting here with a really cocky smile. Celeste was wrong. That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume, man. He ran off as I screamed. Fucking hell, I had to read more. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
and then,
Fuck. Oh, what's that? That came from downstairs, it must have been. Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad, come on, we have to go back.
at that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And
Yes.
that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time,
No, you found one.
because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office.
Yes.
But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Did you know? Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office
man.
and saw that
Thanks.
she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
It's gonna be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies.
Were we?
And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
It's a bit too convenient.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
Here we now.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
Yes.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
What happened to Taka? I know to uncover that. No matter what. I finally figured it out.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yes.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
Yes, that. How to age. Boom.
Now I understand.
Got him.
I got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey you, how long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka, a bit irritated voice burst through the air, started pointing at his best friend. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that, Bet. You know that. Bedtime for all the good little boys and girls. For all the little boys and girls. Why don't I make good?
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
Boom,
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size.
Yes.
That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Yes, he's right.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder. But all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
Yeah, that's true. What? What was that? They came from downstairs. It must have been. Hifumi is still in the nurse's office. Lily's back. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream.
Was he dead though?
Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
Did they?
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles.
I know.
So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
It
That's
didn't.
true.
He walked
We searched
himself.
everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body that short amount of time. It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Impossible, bruh.
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
The dead body
I knew it.
moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is... we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
Yes.
That it isn't possible.
How do you know? We're still alive. Is it really possible? Oh, it is possible. In the second game, this part gets harder because you get several truth bullets at the same time. It doesn't risk bullets. Oh, after that.
That body had been found.
No, that's wrong.
Haha, fuck you! Bitch. My house
Was the
so
body
loud.
discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right.
Plus,
It
wasn't
wasn't
alive short
long
time
after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Technically, there were 2. When he really died.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Because he's still alive.
Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
And the second bot. Oh crap. The first. So the second one was when. But that has to be it.
Shoot! I got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
Fuck you. Was after he supposedly came back to life. Ding dong ding. No, wait, no, you're right. After a certain amount of time,
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
Yeah.
So when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, meaning he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's
Andy.
just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Go ahead.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
Almost.
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Is there though?
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Okay.
Difference.
It's glasses,
No,
bitch.
that's wrong. In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository.
I'm the best.
His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
Oh, you were there. And
When
you
we
know.
found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
And you should know that. You were there with me. Or is it here?
I got it! It was
Yeah,
a
that's weird,
glasses
because
cleaning
it's not
cloth
that.
featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
Yes.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
No, it was real blood.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Hifumi.
I got it!
You even have to ask me,
It could
really?
only have been Hifumi.
I noticed.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
Indeed.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went
No.
looking for them, right?
It wasn't locked.
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
There's no lock on the door.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Sure.
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a way to we can use escape. Marco, I find it. I can't find it. So
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh?
Almost.
Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I
Dude.
got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Really?
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right?
Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Just a serious character still. I can't let it get to me.
It has nothing to do with TikTok!
You're wrong.
No, that's wrong.
Fuck you, bitch.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
talking about?
Who?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that...
No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
No.
He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
You, Kyoko, saw it.
If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note...
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository, so he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body.
We found it first.
In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, then put the hammer back where they found it. But
Not really.
wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
No.
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Danganronpa. Click the video on the left to see something especially for you. Click the video on the right to see the most recently uploaded. Click the button in the middle to subscribe for more videos every day. And click on the playlist to see every Danganronpa I have played. And don't forget to click on that bell. Goodbye, everybody.